No mistake from the Frenchman.
God, should have been the man. Yes, sir. First class flights on the left side.
Here comes Ward-Prowse. Loftus-Cheek takes aim.
This is Corner Flag Talk.
Once again, we're back at it again with another episode on the Corner Flag Talk. We're doing the last Premier League breakdown here, and we have none other than the champions of Europe, Liverpool FC. Here with me, I've Redman, and we had his brother already, Chen, and we're on the top of the show. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Alright, so guys, you know what it is. We get into it. Hey, before I get into that, I should probably do these announcements first. First of all, please like, subscribe, drop a comment below. We are also doing a little fundraiser right now to raise funds for this show, our students' tuition, and for our local church league team that need help paying for kits and that kind of stuff. So if you guys could support, DM the page or message me at 2871027 and organize us with tickets. Right? So we get into it. So first off is transfer activity. So now I found Liverpool had an unlucky year in the sense that, they were near perfect in the Premier League to not win it, And it was, the smallest of smallest fractions of why they didn't win the league. And I found that they recruited really well last year. They brought in Alisson. They already had Van Dijk in. They brought in depth in the attack with Shaqiri. They also brought in Fabinho, who started off the season a little rocky, but eventually came into his own, made that starting spot his own. And it was very easy for me to say that they deserve that A in this category.
Last year they were immense in how they performed throughout the year. One defeat in the league, that was the team that eventually won it. And their activity was top quality. Klopp got all the players that he wanted. He got Alisson, a top class goalkeeper, as you said before. Van Dijk came in. Fabinho really did make that number 6 position his own.
Yeah.
I was saying that for a while, that Henderson is not a defensive midfielder. That is not his primary position, and he was doing a decent job, but Fabinho is much more capable of covering the ground, doing the dirty work, and he's an incredible distributor of the ball. So he gets play started a little bit faster than Henderson, and then that transition allows Liverpool to play faster and better, I think.
And I think too, in allowing Fabinho to come in, it allowed Henderson to start to play higher up the pitch. And when we see him move to this more box-to-box role, we saw a lot more of his positive attributes shown. We saw the dynamism he carries forward and back. His work rate is superb in that sense. Is there any position you thought that they should have recruited and that they didn't last year?
I always think that it's good to have as much depth in positions as possible.
Yeah.
So another forward player, not necessarily a striker, but someone versatile who could fill all the positions up front.
Yeah.
When Salah or Mane or Firmino is missing, although they have Origi, they seem to be a little bit short on that quality off the bench. They need a little bit more pace. I think someone who could run in behind and make a little difference off the bench, so that would be the position I think they should have reinforced, but they still have a really good team.
Alright, so then we go into expectations versus outcomes. So after the season before, where it could have been argued that, in the season before, that they all were the second best team in England, even though they finished fourth, that they was going into the season the expectation to deliver trophies. And I know as a Liverpool fan, you might have been willing to even trade the Champions League for the Premier League, but I still think all in all it was a fantastic season. Obviously winning the Champions League, finishing 97 points, 1 loss, 1 point off for the top. Again, I found it hard to give them anything other than an A for the season.
Yeah, it was a fantastic season. At one point it looked like if they would not be getting anything when they were down to Barcelona in that Champions League tie, but they were fully deserving of the Champions League, and they really deserved to get something out of the season that they had, because there weren't many teams across Europe better than them.
And I think that the defensive solitude that they had, not just Van Dijk, but the other players around him coming into their own. We and you were talking about before the show started about how Joel Matip really hit some good form coming at the end of last season. Robertson becoming arguably, if not the best at world, second best left back in the world. Trent going up there to be in the top 5 right backs in the world right now, and obviously recruiting Alisson, and that gave them the benchmark, the floor for them to build success on the foundation, you know. And it was so surprising that they conceded 3 to Barcelona, but then they still needed to have the resolute and the fortitude to keep them out in Anfield to provide the comeback.
I think that 3-0 defeat to Barcelona was a bit harsh. Liverpool had their chances, and they just didn't convert, and you know, that's how it goes sometimes. They just weren't on the level that they needed to be that day. And even the second leg, when you didn't have Salah, you didn't have Firmino, you would think, well, it would be very difficult for them. I think it was a combination of Barcelona, not to take away anything from the performance from Liverpool, because it was just fantastic, but I think Barcelona had it in the back of their minds that, you know, they just needed to snatch one goal. Because the first leg was that open, I think they thought that the chances would just kind of come. And it didn't work out like that. They needed to work a little bit harder than they did, and that kind of propelled Liverpool, especially with the early goal, and Anfield is a hell of a place to go and play football. So it was always an uphill battle for Liverpool, but with the way they were playing and the team that they had, I think that they had the confidence and the belief that they could.
So if you had to give them a letter grade for it, it would have been
an A for last season, definitely.
And then now we go on to manager's performance, and again, I don't think there was ever a moment where I felt like Klopp let down the Liverpool fans and let down the team. I think his ability to take players that were rough essentially and turn them into starters, you know, again, Alisson and Van Dijk were the only huge money signing that they've brought in since Klopp was there. And even so, you know, we look at players like Robertson, brought in from Hull City. Trent is an academy player. Joe Gomez was brought in from Middlesbrough.
Charlton. I mean.
Yes, Charlton. Salah came in with a kind of meh reputation. We're talking about Bobby Firmino was an attacking midfielder, and looking to them into a false 9. And his ability to have really turned these players around where you'd have said that they were square pegs trying to fit it around holes, but managed to put them together to form this cohesive unit. I think he deserves so much credit for that.
I think Firmino was always more of a centre forward type player. For Hoffenheim, he played a little behind the striker at times, but more or less I see him as a centre forward. In terms of the manager's performance, I think that you can't give Klopp anything other than an A. Especially the way that he himself has developed since coming to Liverpool. I think his initial seasons, he was a little bit naive about the Premier League in terms of not wanting to spend money and keep the team a little smaller and things like that. I think after that first year, even though he qualified for Champions League, he realized the mammoth task that competing in the Premier League is, and he realized that he would need to develop his team a lot more, and he himself will have to be a bit more aggressive, not only in the Champions League but in the league itself, in the way that they perform.
And I think like Klopp going into this season had a good bit of pressure on him as well, because like as a manager on the whole, his record in finals isn't great, you know. He's lost 2 Champions League finals before he reached this one, and after spending big going into this season, the pressure was on him. And you know, he's such a charismatic person, you know, he managed pressure well. And again, any other season in the last 10 years, I believe only twice he wouldn't have won the Premier League with some of the points, and it was a phenomenal show. So just quickly before we go to top performers, I want to get your opinion on Salah, right? Do you think, like, were you disappointed by him? Was it okay? Or, and I mean, 22 goals is a great result, but then we look at how, you know, especially the second half of the season and even in the Champions League, the goals kind of dried up a bit for him. Did you feel like a little underwhelmed by his performance?
If Salah performed like this last season, people would have said he had a great first season.
Yes.
But because of how well he played in his first season, the expectation will always be that they want you to replicate that. And I think people underestimated how much of a toll being taken off in the Champions League final, then fighting to be fit for the World Cup, and things like that. You're carrying a lot of pressure, not only on yourself but for your fans and your supporters. And when he started the last season, I think he himself wanted to prove that he could come out and be that player again. And he might not have hit the heights, and I think he himself, his mentality changed a little bit. He was a little bit more focused on trying to get himself goals, and I think he was a bit more selfish, and it might have been to his own detriment.
I think so.
But overall, I think he had a good season. I wouldn't criticize a player who scored 22 goals and was the goal winner and say that it wasn't a good season. It was a good season.
And then I look at the other Golden Boot winner alongside it, Sadio Mane, and I think given that Sadio Mane doesn't even take penalties, and I'm not saying penalties are easy, but even taking penalties and still getting 22 that was phenomenal on his part.
I think Mane, he always had that potential to be that kind of goal scorer. And Salah in the second season, with Mane's second season, Salah coming in kind of took away from his play a little bit, and I think he kind of started to feel maybe a little bit second fiddle or something like that. And last season he started off, as he usually does, he starts off the season well, and he was consistent throughout, and that was the main thing. He needed to keep that consistency for extended periods of time, and he was able to do that. And if I'm being honest, Sadio Mane is a fantastic player. Like, if you look at the way he's able to just break through defenses and use his own power and his pace, and his finishing is pretty good as well. He's really, really a good player, and he keeps getting better.
And to me, and to some extent, it's not funny, it's not kind of weird when he does that, but he has this X factor way about him that you aren't sure what he's going to try to do. And I think he has also a wide array of finishes as well. He's a little acrobatic. He has obviously the finishes of a typical winger, but he's decent in the air as well. I think he adds such an extra dynamic to the team that not just a typical winger would give you. Okay, so speaking about players who are going to top performers, so what were your top three? If you had to pick three men as your top performers last year, I know the whole team performed, I know that. But three men who was your top performers last year, who would they be?
I mean, obviously Virgil van Dijk is the
number one.
And I'm not saying that to take away from how good the other players on the team was, but the impact that he had alone on the field, the way that he got the players around him to perform better, and I think that's the trademark of a great player, to make those around you better, and that's exactly what he did. He made Robertson better, he made whoever his centre back partner was better, and he made Trent Alexander-Arnold better, and he adds up a calm presence in the field. When he's there, I think you could see that the players are very confident that things will go their way.
So that was number one. Who's two?
Number two is Alisson. Fantastic goalkeeper. Big saves throughout the season. You can't really, even in the Champions League, in the Premier League, he was consistent golden glove in the Premier League, golden top goalkeeper in the Champions League. He won the Copa America, he got the top goalkeeper for that. So I don't think anybody could dispute that he was also one of the major reasons that Liverpool would. This last one is a real toss-up.
It is
to me, because there's so many good players, but I don't think Liverpool would have been as successful as they were without Sadio Mane. He just had a fantastic season, and he deserved the credit for carrying them for a period where the other players, goals weren't coming, and he was there to provide them at some crucial time. I just want a special mention for Fabinho, because he was fantastic, especially in big games. He was there to clean up.
And he started off the season rough, And we talk about players that are climbing the Premier League, and sometimes we trivialize it, about how much quicker the Premier League is, the physical demand on the team. and we just assume that they are professionals, they should be able to adapt. But it takes some time, and then once he got into his own by winter, we saw the form turning from him, and nobody could have displaced him after that.
I think, especially with the style of play that Liverpool, I don't think any other team in the world plays the way that they play. And Klopp is very aware of that. So when he brings players in, you see he kind of takes the time to acclimatize them to how the team plays and gel. And he also doesn't want to disrupt the cohesiveness that the team already has.
Yeah.
So he takes his time to guide them in and build on their performances. And in general in the Premier League, I think for football as a whole, we are very critical of players. As soon as they come, they need to make an impact, and that is not always the case. Individuals are different, positions are different, styles are different. There are a lot of players who became very successful who did not start off. I mean,
agreed,
one player that comes to mind is Christian Eriksen. His first season and a half, he was not, at the level that they expected, and from there he kicked on. And I think players need to be given a bit of time to adapt when they come into the league to show what they could really do.
Yeah. So for me, it was real hard to pick three, but all right. Again, number one, obviously Van Dijk. He is outright the best defender in the world right now. And his impact not just on his partner, his direct partner, but the entire team cannot be understated. I mean, Liverpool will ship in goals like that, and then he reached, and it was like a complete transformation with the Rolls Royce. After that, now is where it got a bit contentious. For me, I went for Andrew Robertson as second because, again, I know Trent got more assists than him, but I think Andrew just added such a different dynamic and a fantastic partnership with my third choice player in Sadio Mane down the left hand side. He was great going both ways, was solid defensively and 100% fantastic offensively. If it wasn't for Trent even having such a great season, he would have had, both of them broke the record this year for most assists by defender in a single season. And I think it speaks volumes, about how integral their defense was in both the defensive and the offensive phase to Liverpool's successes here. And third was Sadio Mane, consistent throughout the entire season. A little spots here and in the first half where he was, goal here, but in the second half, he really hit it off. Well, I think it was 8 games straight scored in the Premier League and was fantastic for them. And again, 22 goals in Premier League alone without any penalties from a winger. That's phenomenal. That's really phenomenal. The three worst performers, I really struggled to think about who was the worst performers, and I feel like if I probably hit some wrong notes here, so I apologize if I criticize the players that don't deserve criticism. First off, I went with Danny Sturridge. And I know there's a sore spot for him, and it is kind of tough to call him out because he's had injury problems, but you wanted somebody to fill in for Firmino, for somebody who's more of a goal threat and a little bit more selfish, and he was there sometimes, but he wasn't always there, which is why in the end he was released. For second, I went with Bobby himself, that he didn't hit the heights he hit last year, and he didn't add that extra goals that he had last season, which gave him the reputation of being the great false nine. And then last, I went with Lovren, and I only went with Lovren because I went with Lovren because of him. Because he was like, I'm the best defender in the world after reaching the finals of the World Cup. And then he could have nailed on a starting spot against Joe Gomez and John Martin. So, yeah.
This is probably the most difficult
part
of the because, I mean, every player contributed to the success they had. I mean, at different points in time, you could name a moment where each individual player contributed in a significant way to how Liverpool performed last year. I have to be real nitpicky to choose somebody. I think I'll have to go with Navigator. I know he had an injury-prone season,
that's true.
But even in the periods where he was fit, he was not making the impact. I know I just spoke about giving players times and things like that, but his quality overall, we saw flashes where, you know, he did certain things, but his overall impact on the team, I don't think it was what we may have expected. I think this season he would perform a lot better, being fit and having a full season under his belt, you know, experiencing what the Premier League is like and stuff like that. I think he'll improve, but I mean, like I said, being nitpicky, I have to go with him as one of the worst performers on the team. It's a real toss-up to kind of pinpoint, you know, any other player that was bad. When I think about players that I want to name, I always think about different moments where they came up big for us during the season. To be critical, maybe Shaqiri. There were times where he came on and he gave us exactly what we needed, but there were also times where he came onto the field and he looked a bit lost. He was not in the game, he didn't make much of an impact, so I would have to go for him. And thirdly, like you called as well, Lovren. I think Lovren this year was not as bad as previous, but his tendency to make errors at critical times, I think that he's not the most dependable person, so I would have to call him the third.
And a surprise player this year, I went for Trent. I found his rise this season was astronomical. I mean, he came on the scene last season, he was good, but there's genuine arguments for him possibly being the best right back last year in the world, and there's good substance for that. Most assists in the Premier League was crucial in turning around the Barcelona game. His intelligent forward runs, his technical ability. I mean, we know that he was a midfielder when he was younger, and that has proven him good stead in being this right back. So I went for Trent.
I think Origi has to be the surprise player.
Okay.
His overall performances in every game might not have been at a high level, but the goals that he came up with, especially the one in the Champions League final, people talk about the Barcelona game and stuff like that, and he did the cross from Trent Alexander-Arnold for Origi to finish. It was not as easy as it looked, but the confidence that he showed to take on that strike in the final, I would go with him as the surprise player. He was really, really, you know, crucial to their success.
Alright guys, well that's it for this part of it. You know, follow us everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Corner Flower Talk, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Corner Flower Talk. Our website is always up, cornerflowertalk.squarespace.com. Thank you so much for coming on the show, right? Catch you guys next time. See you later.
God, should I been the man? Yes, sir. First class flights on the Delta. Check still sitting on the dresser. Yes, sir. I settled for the lesson. Should I been the man? Yes, sir. Head down, but I stay blessed up. God told me that I'm next up. Yes, sir.